review of the penny shirt dress by Sew Over It that was just released this month. So I'll put some pictures in over here, or a video clip or something, showing you the one I've made, and maybe I'll put some of the pictures from the pattern. So I'll show you it now. It's got an elastic waistband. I've put 2 buttons in. Not sure if you can. Yeah, I've used a rayon, so it's very drapey. It's got the collar. The sleeves are not kind of like built into the bodice. It's not like you don't have to set any sleeves in, so that's good. So it was my first time doing a collar, which was a bit confusing. So first I'll show you the fabric I used and talk through that. So I used a rayon, as you can see. This is the print. Yeah, I've used a rayon, which I bought from Spotlight. If it's still available, I'll link it. I'm pretty sure it is. I quite like this fabric because it doesn't seem to crease as much as some of the other rayons I've bought. I don't know why, but it just seems to not as much. It's still a rayon, so it still does crease to some extent. So, onto the instructions. So Over It patterns are pretty good with instructions all the time. They're much more clear than commercial patterns, like so much more clear, and I guess that's the whole idea behind Sew Over It. There was only 2 steps. I think I got a little confused. So I've got my little PDF that I've printed off and stuck together. So, yeah, step 12, it says, I'll just read it. It says, very neatly understitch the facing to the seam allowance, 2 to 3 mils away from the seam. Then, to create the button placket, fold the facing to the inside of the bodice at the center front notch. Press in place. So, I understood that, like, I was creating the button placket, but I just got confused when it said, fold the facing to the inside of the bodice at the center front notch. So I was like, oh, maybe I just didn't mark that center front notch. Then I went and had a look at the pattern pieces and I couldn't see anything there, so I was like really confused. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, I'm pretty new at this, so I don't know. So I had a look at the picture that is in the instructions and I stared at it for about 15 minutes, just sort of wonder, does that look 1.5? You know, just guessing basically what it looked like because I couldn't figure it out. So, you know, for a bit of umming and ahhing for a while, I decided it looked about 1.5 centimeters and I folded it over that. And luckily it worked out alright because, as you can see, I have a dress here. It looks like a dress. The only other part that I got a little bit confused was in step 16, which is match the notches on the collar and the neckline, align the right side of the bodice with the underside of the collar. Note that the collar will not meet the front edges. Pin in place and stitch with the 8 mil seam allowance. So I understood that on the collar there is notches and I've got those marked, but I didn't really understand what it meant by matching the notches on the collar and the neckline because I didn't know what notches on the neckline it was talking about. So I had a look at my pattern pieces and I was still a bit confused. So I just lined the notches on the collar up with the seams of the shoulder placket. Yeah, the shoulder placket, and it seemed to work. Yeah, so this is probably nothing to do with the pattern and more just to do with me. I'm a pretty new sewer, and yeah, first time doing a collar. So next, it's only available in a PDF, and that doesn't bother me at all, but I saw a lot of comments on the Sew Over It Instagram and photos and whatnot, asking if they're going to release it as a printed pattern, that they love the pattern but they don't like PDF. I'd just like to say, everybody should like PDF because, well, not like it, but everybody should give it a go because it opens you up to such a big world of patterns that you can easily access. You can just print it at home, stick it together, and I know it seems daunting at first to stick 30-40 pages together, but once you've done it a few times, it's really quick. I just like to sit in front of the TV, stick it all together, cut it out, and it's actually quite quick. Also, they have now made their patterns available in copy shop form, so if you really do hate sticking it together, you can just go down to your local copy shop and get it printed. I didn't do that personally because it's about $8 or $9 per sheet, and I think there's 2 sheets for this one, so I'm fine with sticking all of them together. And I also wanted to print it out straight away because I was keen when I saw this pattern. Yeah, also, and a last note, this is actually my Sew Together for Summer dress because I was actually going to use this fabric to make a Alex shirt dress from the Sew Over It ebook. I'll pop a picture of the shirt dress I'm talking about. And I saw this pattern in my email because I'm a PDF Club member with Sew Over It a week in advance, and I had to buy it. Obviously, I couldn't help myself. I just love the shape. I definitely will be making more of these at some point. I'm not sure when, but I definitely will. Oh yeah, the only last point is it's winter in Australia, so maybe making a light rayon dress wasn't a good idea, but much like from what I see, the UK, it doesn't get very hot very often. In Australia, it doesn't get very cold very often. So I think I'm going to get a good amount of wear out of this dress. So, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, subscribe.